Hi guys, I just want to pass on some tips for those who like to use Virtual DJ8. I'm going to pass on some tips today. It might involve recovering tracks that have lost titles or lost album names. It's not essential sometimes, or lost probably the year it was actually released or what album it was released on. I'm going to show you a couple of tips now. Hopefully, you will help you recover some of these lost titles. You might be looking for something in your library, and because it's not titled properly, you probably can't find it. So I'm going to show you a couple of tips now how to find them, and it's quite simple. And I'll show you a couple of other tips along the way. How to recover some lost titles. So you've put a lot of music into your library in Virtual DJ, and somehow titles, years, albums have all gone missing. Okay, well, just happens if we go to the right here or to your left, it depends on how you look at things. I've got iTunes, which is linked. Now, I use iTunes due to the fact it's great for setting up playlists and it's great for introducing tracks into the system, because once you put it into iTunes, once you download a CD or put a CD into it, it'll automatically find the track and the album, and that's the end of it. But sometimes when you transfer them into Virtual DJ, they can get lost in transition. So basically, if you've got iTunes on the left here, you just click on it and it'll show you all your playlists regarding to your to iTunes. Okay, I got iTunes there now. Okay, and what it does, it updates anything you update in Virtual DJ will update anything in your iTunes. Okay, so I've got various lists down here, which are smart lists and actual playlists, that helps me find stuff when I need it. Now, I find that when I click on some of my music, as much as it might say in iTunes what it is, I find that sometimes, like, the year is missing. If you look down the side here, you can see the year is missing. And if we right click on the top of the title bar here, or any one of these tabs across the top, you can select which one you'd like to see on that tab bar. Now, it just happens you can drag them into any position you want. So I've got art. I like to see them artist, title, and then the album, and then what genre. Now, I don't always have the genre up, because I know if I'm particularly if I'm playing a particular show, I know it's just soul or it might be funk, so I don't need to see what genre. Obviously, BPMs, if it's a slow track or a fast track, and tell if you're really good with your music. Anyway, and then you've got your year. Now, it's nice to pull out the year, because if you're looking for a particular year, you want to know what year it was. Well, there's a way of recapturing that now. So what you do is you click on the track, right click on your mouse, and then go to tag editor. Okay, so right click on your mouse and go to tag editor. Okay, once you click on the tag editor, it brings up the tag editor window. Now, the tag editor window shows you various things. Now, providing you've got the artist and the title of the song already in there, and the name of the album, it's already in there. But I've got a year missing. So what you need to do, you go down to the file name box towards the file info details, towards the bottom of the tag editor window, and click on the little dot. Now, you have a couple of options in here, okay, to retitle the track. Don't do that, because it'll mess up everything. All you have to do is go to find missing info from Discogs, and it's great. Once you click on it, providing it finds the information, in pops in that little window there. As you can see, it's got 1980 now. Not saying it's going to be the correct year for everything you do, though, because sometimes what they do when they release albums, they probably release an album, say, in 1999 of their greatest hits. It'll say that their greatest hits in a particular song that was released back in the 70s was released in 1999, which is actually the release of the greatest hits album. So obviously that's going to be wrong, but that's down to you then to update it if you think it's an earlier date. So that's pretty straightforward. All I do then is, if I click next, I go to the next one. In this case now, there's no album and there's no year. Go down to the little dot, click on the dot, file missing from your info Discogs. There you go. And it should, with any luck, providing it's all spelled correctly in the two windows here, which is the artist and the title, it should fill in the album it was originally on and the year it was actually released. There you go. Now, I got quite a lot of tracks I've been given. I've given hundreds of tracks or sold tracks I've never heard of, and I got tracks that are sold, I can't even remember them. So I just click on the dot, and it finds the information required. Now, you think, why is that blank there? Why isn't it got a picture in it? Well, there's another way around that as well. All you have to do is click on it, and it finds the artwork for you. And all you have to do, then you can scroll through these windows looking for what you think is the best one you want. You can scroll through them. So I'm going to pick this one. You click on it and click Save the Tag, and then it puts the little picture in there. Now I'm going to come out of that now and click OK, and it's already saved that. Now you're wondering now, well, what's the point of having the picture of the album if you can't see it? Well, it is there. It's just that I've hid it. So yeah, well, I'm just looking through this now, and it's changed. I have a latest version of Virtual DJ8, and usually in this little vicinity here, you're able to drag it down and it would show the actual album covers. But the only other place you can see them now, depending on if you've updated your version, because it does updates quite regular, Virtual DJ does, you say yes to it and it'll update any fixes, any problems with it, it'll update them. So it's always a good idea to update your updates. Now, if you do put a track in, as in if I put a track in there, now you can't see it at the moment. So if you right click, up comes the album cover. And then right click to disappear. You don't need to have the album cover. It depends on you really. So your virtual privileges preferences are. So so there you are. That's that. Right, a couple of other things. Okay. Right. So you're wondering what some of these do down the sides. Okay. It's feedback here. Okay. Right. The little dot here, when you click on it, gives you options of how you want to see everything. Now, if you've got karaoke tracks, that's fine. If you've got videos, great. You just tick one of these boxes, and what gets displayed in the box here is what is in actually these three here. Now, I don't have any karaoke tracks, but I do have videos and I do have music. Okay. The other option then, we got display options. Oops. So we have display options. In here, we got how you would like to see it. Don't go to grid. It's a waste of time. Keep it as it is now. It's called the list view. And then the padding is the gaps between each of the tracks. So if you select any of these, it puts certain gaps between the tracks. I'll make an example. Like once you do that, see the gap? You have a gap now just between each track. Of course, you don't want that because that means you see less. So go back into display and go to none. Okay, so it's none padded. Okay. The other option then you got, of course, the size of the font depends on how bad your eyes are. In my case, I've stuck with medium. You can go smaller. It's entirely up to you. Root elements, I wouldn't worry about that. Forget about that. And then you got your database, and that's if you want to remove a track you don't want to be played because it's bad copy, it's low volume, it's something wrong with it. And that's basically it. Now, I've got a setup key, which if I hit, makes everything bigger. But this key here does it for you. Now, I got my L key on my keyboard set up to do that automatically. I don't have to click it. So there you are. There's the mouse up there. My L key does that, which is called mapping. Okay. So there you are. Shrink it down. So if you want to see more tracks, you do that. How's that? Now, the other options you got is, take for instance, now you got Bill Withers here, right? Okay. Now in your library, you might have more than one track of the same artist or the same song. So, okay. In my case, I always like to look to see when it was played last. In this case, the last time I played it was in April. So here we go. If I click on this now and I go through, so it's right clicked on the artist in the window and go down to search similar songs, providing they're all, speaking of which, I've just noticed that's not Withers, is it? So easy, I get around that. Bear with me. And I'm going to just go into the tag editor and then I go up here and this is where you can change it. There we go, Withers. Okay, so it's right now. So as I was saying, yeah, so you right click on the artist, go down, search similar songs, and it comes up with like more than one of the songs. If you've got more than one song in your library, this is where it is. As it sees, I can do this. And if I highlight them all, I then can select the date it was last played. So that's it. So if you're looking for artists or a song of the same title, you can go it that way. Okay. Right. Okay. A couple of other things. Now, for those who are working in radio and internet radio, you like to have your jingles at hand. Now, I'm lucky enough because I have my controller, which if you look at my little picture now, which is down in the bottom corner, which is just coming up, I have a controller on here. Okay. I'll take it to a big screen mode so you can see it better. Hang on. So if I take to the big mode, there we go. Okay, this is my controller. This is a Denon MC6000 Mark II. It's not too big. It's just right for what I needed. And if it wasn't for a certain friend that I listen to on a radio station, I wouldn't have bought this one, and it works wonders. I'll just light it up a bit more. Okay. So if you look at the green buttons here, you see the green buttons. Okay. Now on those green buttons, they can either be samples, which when red they samples, and when green, the other hot cues, which are used for my jingles. So in this case, if I take you back to my virtual DJ, the desktop, okay. So if we go back to the desktop, okay. So here we are back on the desktop. So what I've done now, I have the red boxes, which I noticed quite a few people use. Well, I got jingles. My jingles are all in mine. And what I've done is, those jingles, you drag them into this window here, which is the sample box. Okay, so you should have the sample box. Now on the new version, you've got options of which windows you'd like to see across the bottom. Now in the case I use the auto mix to put all my playlists in. So I've only got the option of 2 here. So I've only selected the 2, sample and auto mix. Okay, so there you go. So I've dragged my jingles into this box here. Now when I play it, now if I play number 3, can you see it playing? All right. You can see it going round. Now I'll play it now with the volume up. Okay. And this is what it does.
The station that gives your community a voice, live and online. This is.
And when it finishes, as you can see, it does the full minutes. Now, sometimes you have a jingle which has an unusual start and beginning, which doesn't start when you want to. So if you right click on the jingle, as you can see what I'm about to do, click on Sample Editor. Now in here, you can sample your jingle to wherever you want it to start and finish. So you grab the blue line and bring it right to the point where you need it to finish. And that goes for some of these. Now, some of these might have started like 1 second before it needs to start. So you can fine tune any sample you'd like. Now, in this case, it's the jingles. Okay. Now, and that's it. Now, if you want to adjust the volume, perhaps the volume's not loud enough for it. Okay. So you can adjust the volume just here. Once you've done that, you've got the option then to save it by calling it something. You can title it anything you want, depending on what it is. Okay. So there you go. And then when you're finished, you click save. Save. So there you go. It's done. And there you go. There it is. Okay. So I got all my jingles in there. You can do that with almost anything. I'll show you some of the other things I've got, which is I've sampled, like voice clips. I got these. Same thing. You go in, sample editor, and you edit it where it starts and finishes. If I can fine tune that one a bit more. There you go. There you go. So you can do anything you want. You can sample any song you want as well. I'll show you that in another video when I get the opportunity to do it. So there you are. Hopefully that's a couple of tips to help you going, guys. I'll do one more tip now, and that is if you are creating a show and you want to get your lists together. So you got your music. We'll grab a couple into tracks into there. Drag these into there. Drag this. So you're dragging all the tracks you'd like to be playing. Oh, I've got 2 the same then. So here we go. What else we got? We got this one. Okay, so there you go. You keep dragging your tracks into there. Once you've done that, okay, you want to save it. Okay, the best way to save it then is go into the little dot. There's a little dot just on the top. You click that dot, and then you want to save it. And then you save it wherever you want. Okay, so you name it like Tuesday's show, the 20th of November, or wherever it might be, and you save it. And then what it does then, it saves it into the playlist. So you've put your tracks in the case now, here's my shows for the next couple of days coming up. And I've saved them and it comes up in the playlist. And hey presto, there it is. Okay, so my playlist is in there. Okay, so what do you do with it if it's in there, but it's not in there? Because sometimes when you switch down the machine and you run this, it's not in there. Okay, because someone else has been there before you. Well, once you've created your playlist, click on it. And then right click and put load auto mix. Great, eh? So there you are. You have your show all listed up in your auto mix. It also tells you how long your show is going to be. So I got 39 songs and it's going to be a total time of 2 hours and 46 minutes and 58 seconds. Not necessarily it's going to be that long because perhaps you don't want to play the full version of some of the songs that are in. As you see, some of them are 7 minutes long, which I don't do. Okay, so all you have to do from there then, obviously most of you haven't got a controller. You just drag them into the box. Or if you've got the 4 carts open, all 4 carts. And there you are. See all your cue points all ready to go, all flashing. Okay. Right, so once you've played a track and it's in the auto mixer, once it's finished, it'll disappear. It'll just pop off. So every time you play a track, it disappears until there's nothing left, until they're all gone. So then you know where you are. And obviously you can still shuffle your playlist around accordingly, depending if someone requests something, or same thing again, if someone requests something, all you have to do is type it into the window and look for it, and then drag it into the window. Okay. Obviously, it won't remember that track. So once you click the clear button, oops, once you've put a track name in there and you've cleared that back to a black window, it'll show you your original playlist. All you have to do is drag that track then into your official playlist. So if you ever lose it, it'll remember it as soon as you put it back in that playlist. Right, hope guys, that's a couple of tips that might be of use to you if you use Virtual DJ. There are quite a lot of other tips. If you've got controllers, even much better. I've got so many things I can show you if you have a controller. That's it, guys. I'll catch you very soon.